Hello and welcome back to the fort. I'm the Gap Major and this is WoWs Weekly. WoWs Weekly is the weekly news video covering World of Warships Legends in the week past, current and future, along with some channel admin and speculations. Now, first of all, let's start off with the golden pumpkins, which have dropped in the console store, but also are available in the store as well. But obviously in store they're available as just like one giant bundle, whereas in the console store you can obviously buy them individually or as one big bundle. Now these basically, each golden pumpkin will guarantee a drop of 1,250 doubloons unless it is that 0.1% chance drop where it is the 100,000 doubloons. However, when it drops to 100,000 doubloons it won't drop anything else, and obviously that is going to be a very rare occasion. When it does drop the 1,250 doubloons, it will also drop one of the potential following items: Halloween 21 camos, more million credits, 250 additional doubloons, 5 promotional orders, 2,500 global XP, a coupon for a tier 5 premium ship, a coupon for a tier 6 premium ship, both of which are minus 20% discount, a single insignia or a single accommodation. Now, with these, they work out as basically costing the same as if you bought the really basic doubloon package, so a one-off is potentially an intriguing investment. I think the question is, if you want pure doubloons, you're obviously going to be better off just buying pure doubloons from the from the in-game store, because that's discounted. Whereas if you want to get slightly less doubloons but potentially some other intriguing items along the way, then maybe the pumpkins could be slightly worthwhile. I think it all just depends on what you're really after. Then also, we will be seeing the Halloween 2021 crates becoming available in the coming week, and these will be dropping a variety of interesting items, I guess you could say. Obviously, it's dropping the Halloween camouflages for the Lexington, the Bismarck, the Tirpitz, the Shikuku, the Kagera, the Chapayev, the Charles Mantel, and the Benson. But furthermore, there will also be other goodies within the container, including the free Halloween commanders, which we will take a quick look at, some promotional orders, insignia, accommodation, global XP, days premium, promotional orders, and the Halloween camos. So, with next week starts the Light in the Dark Halloween event, and during this event you'll be able to earn portal shards. We did cover how you'll be earning portal shards in last week's video, Miles Weekly. Now, in regards to this, you can obviously play the Light in the Dark event in order to get shards. You can do the Slay and the Chimeras mission with the Bellerophon in standard or versus AI, and also you can get shards from certain crate bundles. Now with these shards you'll be able to purchase either the themed commanders, commander progression items, probably insignias, promotionals and accommodations, Halloween camouflages, and if you save up enough you'll be able to get the Italian tier 4 cruiser Nova, which will be coming with AP and HE, so she won't be the SAP cruiser that might be forthcoming, in which SAP will be tested on. Regarding the Halloween commanders, I didn't cover it last week, so we'll take a look at it now. So first of all, we have Clara N. Telslor. She has a base trait called Midnight Oil, in which it decreases the rudder shift time by 3%, but increases main battery traverse speed by up to 3%. And she has a unique skill which is called Broomstick, which increases the reload time for torpedo launchers and your battleship main battery, while increasing main battery fire dispersion. So it improves your torpedo launcher reload by up to 15% and the main battery reload by 10%, while increasing the dispersion by 10%. So an intriguing German battleship commander potentially, but obviously she's only really going to be particularly useful, or at least that broomstick skill will only be particularly useful in ships that have torpedoes, really, because it's kind of enticing you to brawl a little bit more. Now for the Russians, we have Ivan BD Light, which is a cruiser style commander. His base trait is Phantom Vein, which will reduce the duration of increased detectability of your cruiser after firing the main battery by up to 12%, which could be an interesting commander if you use one of the French inspirations, I'm trying to remember, Lemonade would also reduce your detectability after throwing your main battery. I think Lemonade can take you down to about 15 seconds. I think if you if you have him as an inspiration with a fully upgraded Lightfall, you might be able to decrease that down to somewhere in the region of about 12.5 seconds, which could be quite intriguing. And his base skill, Lightfalls, will also increase your battery reload speed. Oh wow. It says increase main battery reload speed by 3%, but I'd say you're decreasing the main battery reload speed by 3% because it's in green, implying it's a buff. Now, there's also Fear My Wrath, which is here Lightfall's unique skill, which increases the accuracy and shell gripping of your cruiser's main battery by up to 8%, while decreasing your cruiser's concealment by 8% as well. So potentially, with Lightfall, maybe the inspirations of having like a Lemonade, if you to complement his base trait, and then maybe Mikola or Kuznetsov to complement his second trait. The reason what I'm thinking is obviously your concealment's going up, so whether you can reduce your concealment down a little bit or furthermore actually just increase your range and just play a little bit further back. Now, as if we didn't have enough of them, here is another Japanese event commander. Like we need any more. We've got them coming up out of our ears, that's what we put it. But anyway, so we have Nobusanda Sano, I believe. His base trait is Blur, which increases both incoming fire dispersion and speed of your destroyer by up to 2%, which is quite interesting. It's a bit like it's almost like a cross between Blue Furion's base trait and Philip Vine's base trait, but at a reduced level. Now, his unique skill is called Sprint Master, which increases the travel speed of your torpedoes by up to 8 knots while decreasing their range by up to 30%, which is a very interesting one. So basically, you trade in range for speed, but your detectability of those torpedoes will stay the same. So what that means is basically enemy ships will have a reduced time in order to respond to those incoming torpedoes. However, you're going to have to get closer to them in order to use them. But then again, you usually see Japanese destroyers getting far too close to things than they really should do anyway. So these themed commanders will obviously be available within the Halloween 2021 containers, and also will be available to purchase, I believe, with shards. Now, furthermore, down in the description of this video will be a redeem code. Now, this redeem code was for I believe, the birthday of the United States Navy. So from this redeem code, you will obviously get 6 red, white, and blue cameras, 1 day premium, and 1 regular container. So this takes us on to probably the biggest hot potato we have this week, and that is the Vilma, the German Tier 6 premium cruiser, which has become available this week for 12,500 balloons. And at the moment, there's ums and ahs, I guess you could say. I've heard arguments for both sides saying whether she's OP or not OP. My position on her is that she is OP. Considering she is a light cruiser equipped with 6-inch guns, she has a DPM which is in far excess of any other light cruiser at the tier. In fact, far in excess of any other cruiser at the tier, apart from the Flint and the Atlanta, which do have slightly higher HE DPMs. However, the Vilma also offers this high DPM within the chassis of the York class cruiser, the German tech tree tier 6, which is actually quite a good armor scheme. And so in combination of that, there's not many downsides of this cruiser. She's well enough armored that she can ricochet 14-inch AP when angled. You can make her maneuverable enough that she can actually dodge the incoming fire when the shell sizes are larger. Her only main weakness, I guess, is going to be the German engine module, which can be knocked out, but with battleship caliber HE, very much like the York, the Hitler, and the Prince Eugen, I guess you could say. Furthermore, she might be on the slow side. However, you can, because her DPMs are so good, you can focus on speed, very much like I did. And yeah, so generally, she seems to have a very good chassis with incredible DPMs. So much so that in comparison to other cruisers, she just stands head and shoulders above the rest. Now, she is a premium ship, and do not be fooled. That does not mean she is not subject to change. When you first boot up World of Warships Legends and you sign into your Wargaming account, you will agree to some terms and conditions. These terms and conditions state that the Wargaming reserves the right to change the stats of any ship, whether for better or for worse. This does include premiums, and World of Warships Legends have nerfed premiums before. Not since the proper release, but they did nerf the Gremshansky during the beta version of the game. So, with the Vilma, there is the potential that she might be nerfed, so please, buyer beware. She is a strong cruiser, and she really does stand head and shoulders above the rest, which does mean that she might be sticking her head above the parapet, and if she does that, she's very much going to have her head lopped off. Any changes to the Vilma will obviously not be nerfing her into the ground, and she still will be a playable ship, but she needs to really, personally I believe, be brought more in line with the other ships at the tree. I have seen some people try to justify that the Vilma is a balanced ship, considering that she has the incredible DPMs, but she also has apparently weak armor. But when you consider there's not really many cruisers with that kind of armor scheme, or an armor scheme better than that at tier 6, and in fact there's probably a large majority of cruisers with a worse armor scheme than that, I kind of feel that that argument is not really valid, especially considering that pretty much every tier 6 cruiser apart from the Cheshire can only ricochet 14-inch AP. So she's in the same ballpark as every other cruiser. Obviously, there are other cruisers at the tier which do have thinner armor belts, things like the Atlanta, the Flint, obviously super squishy, but also the American cruisers like the New Orleans and the Helena, again, don't really have much of an armored belt. Whereas the Vilma does have a sufficient armor belt, almost putting her on par with, say, the Surrey and the Zara and the Mayuku. So, in that opinion, yes, she is squishy, but she's no more squishy than some of the heavily armoured cruisers at the tier, and she's offering you some great DPM. I do apologise if I'm repeating myself here. And furthermore, it's also worth noting that the Vilma offers you incredibly good range with these guns, and furthermore, improved high explosive penetration. So she's not only going to be soaking in all that high explosive DPM, but she's going to be punching harder with that DPM, even though she only has 5.9-inch guns. Something that, say, ships with a higher HE DPM, like the Atlanta and the Flint, cannot do because they've only got 5-inch guns. Although you could potentially put equilibrium power on them, it's not going to be as effective as, say, the Vilma with her improved HE penetration. So, I'm going to leave it there and say buyer beware. Just because she's a premium ship doesn't mean she's not subject to change. So, in regards to the Chone, not really much to really add. It is just, again, all hands to the pump. Hoping to get the Bellerophon reviewed for this Friday. Next week we will be looking at probably the Udaloni and the Kotrovsky, and then we've also got the Gorky, so we are up to our eyeballs in things that need to be reviewed. So it's going to be quite a bit of a churn in regards to videos, I have to completely confess. In fact, it's probably been so busy I haven't even been able to catch up with the live stream from last Friday that the community managers did do, so I'm going to have to see if I can try and catch up with that another time. Apart from that, I haven't really got anything else to add in regards to information collected by Room 40, I do believe. Although the only information collected by Room 40 I think is most certainly worth flagging is obviously the Vilma is under review, and currently she is trending to be doing a little bit better, or not a little bit, but just genuinely better than they had anticipated, and so obviously that does mean she is sticking her head above the parapet potentially.
This isn't random, right? Someone made a mistake. Someone made a big goddamn mistake.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe. Down in the description is that redeem code, link to Patreon, and the email address to the channel if you want to send any of your own game captures. So, until next time, I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.
Hey, hey, clear the way. Here comes the Galloping Major. Bumpity, 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 bump. Get out of the way there, you fellows, unless you want me to run you down. I guess this is the life. Now, hey, hey, clear the way. Here comes the Galloping Major.